Greetings and salutations. Welcome back. On this video compilation, you will hear stories about marriage regret. Are you married? Have you ever been married? When you hear these stories of regret, can you relate in any way? If so, let us know in the comments below. Any suggestions for the married or unmarried would be appreciated. As always, be respectful. I regret getting married every single moment. I haven't even been married 6 months. I, 25 female, am leaving my husband, 30 male. Disclaimer: we have discussed monogamy in detail before we got married. We both agreed we were monogamous and wanted to be in a closed relationship. 1 month after our wedding, he asked if we could open up our marriage. This came out of nowhere, and I have been shocked and angry. I told him I was not comfortable with that, and he told me just to give it time. He tells me that he has not made moves on anyone, but he has swiped on dating apps with me in bed with him. He also flirts with coworkers of ours, ones who were at our wedding. Yesterday, I had someone ask if I had been the one to open the marriage, and I've never felt so betrayed and disrespected by my husband. He has told everyone we are in an open marriage. My stepmother is letting me stay with her for a few weeks, and I'm collecting my things this evening. I can't continue this anymore. I'm in the bathroom at work crying my eyes out. I, 35 female, regret marrying my husband, 34 male. How to get past this? I am a 35-year-old female who made a mistake of a lifetime. I grew up in a household where my parents fought a lot. During my doctoral years in graduate school, I was in a stable 4-year relationship with a doctor that felt perfect. My ex was loving, funny, generous, kind, and had a very strong character and similar internal value system. We never fought. I was happy, fulfilled, motivated, secure, and overall a better, stronger person with him by my side. I remember looking at him while he was driving once and thinking, man, he will be such a good dad one day. The segment in my life with him was happy, but looking back, it also felt alien. I had never been in such a stable relationship before. I didn't grow up like that. I had never been this supported or happy. I didn't know how good I had it. However, our sex life wasn't great to non existent. At the end of our relationship, I ended up moving away for a highly competitive, once in a lifetime job offer. While away, I cheated on him, and we are no longer together. I cheated on him with my husband. My husband and I met because we shared a similar passion for trail running, ultra marathons. We loved being outdoors and having someone by my side in such a niche sport felt special. I overlooked the fact that he only graduated from high school and is making minimum wage, while I make six figures. I was young and thought that love would prevail. I started to see cracks in our relationship as time went on. While I was working hard and overtime to save up for our house, he would disappear for days on camping trips, leaving me to take care of household chores and our dog. We fought over so many things, so many little things, and had countless communication issues. We do not communicate well or do conflict resolution well. I noticed our sense of humor always didn't jive. For example, there was a time I questioned if he's racist because of jokes he made with his friends, And it really bothered me. Our empathy level for others and this planet are very different. But I was in my 30s then and thought I needed to make this work. I later learned that there is guilt from cheating, and oftentimes you feel like you need to end up with the person to make it feel right. So we got married and now have a baby. After having a baby, our differences and conflicting values are amplified. After marrying, he took an expensive career change, which I am funding. He comes from work, tired, and sometimes needs to study after work or on weekends. When he's not studying, he lies in bed on his phone instead of spending time with me or our baby. He says he needs to decompress. He is always on his phone, whereas I cut down on screen time for my baby. He says his career comes first, even though it doesn't pay much compared to my career. He says when he gets a chance, he is going to move our family out of state to advance his career. I told him I do not want that because we have grandparents, good schools, and a strong community here for our child. He does nearly 0% of our child care throughout the week. On weekends, he may have 15 to 30-minute play sessions with our baby, but it's always spontaneous on his time. And I never know how much free time I will have before he says, I need to get back to studying. It's hard for me to get things done or run errands out of the house. Despite him being very absent as a parent, he is very opinionated with raising our baby, and everything seems to be my fault, according to him. Not a pleasant experience. He threatens me with more workload if I complain about his absence as a dad while he's playing with our baby. He leaves the room and says, I'm playing with him for you. If you're not grateful, I need to get back to work. Similarly, I did all of our taxes as always, and he offers to help mail the packet. When I complained, he forgot to attach the W 2s among missing other things. He said this was too complicated and he's going to bed. Never said thank you to me for doing our taxes, leaving me to finish the task he offered to help. He is entitled. For example, he saves $0 for the down payment of our home, yet our home needs to have 3 car garages and he needs an extra room for a music studio that he never uses now. Yes, I wanted to be a good partner and conceded to his demands and now feel resentful. I also feel resentful when I see friends who married their classmates now living in a nice, safe, highly sought after neighborhoods and beautiful homes, or have 2 or 3 homes, while we needed to make some compromises as I'm the sole breadwinner in our relationship. Our educational level differences also show in our conversations. It does not seem like he looks into global or political issues deeply or empathetically. He has no interest in doing or learning how to do conflict resolution. It also appears he is too insecure to apologize. After knowing him for 8 years in countless arguments, he has only apologized once or twice to me, while I apologize after nearly all arguments. He is always tired. One morning outing to the park, and he needs to be in bed for 3 hours, 2 hours in his phone, and 1 hour napping. Yes, I know money, income, and education isn't everything. I know this may be my fate from karma from cheating on my good ex. I'm just feeling lost and alone. I'm wondering, I don't know if anyone has any advice, if things will get better or how I can move past this. Do you think I made a mistake? Thank you for reading. I married my husband for love and I deeply regret it. My parents' marriage is not a love marriage. Their parents, my grandparents, were friends and business partners. My mother and father respect each other as human beings, but I have never even seen them lovingly hug each other. My brother and I knew this ever since we were kids. Growing up, my brother and I were raised by live in nannies. We were driven to school by our chauffeur, who was also our gardener. My my father was mostly at work. My mother was either at work or spending time at her hobbies room. I grew closer to my father once I showed a lot of talent for sports. We went to play volleyball, baseball, horse riding, etc. together a lot whenever we had the time. My brother was popular at school, so he often spent time with friends rather than with family. Through spending time together with my father, I got to know that my father always had this what if. The what if he was married for love instead of to be obedient to the elders. I got to talk about it once in a while with mother too, but she did not seem to ever have the what ifs. My mother was so logical about their marriage. She wanted the same for me too. Before I was even 16, I've had multiple future husbands. All were sons of my mother's social circle friends. But I listened to my father rather than to my mother. So while my brother did marry a woman of my mother's choosing, I decided to find a husband of my own. Long story short, I fell in love, university classmate, kind, hardworking, similar hobbies, ideologies, supportive, generous in bed, and has similar taste in humor. We were a perfect couple. When I got married, I could see that my father was so proud that I get to live the life he wanted. Husband and I divorced 11 years later, mutual, amicable. We even hugged each other tightly and wished each other well. I think both my father and I had built marrying for love as something mythical in our heads so much that we were not ready for the fact that it is, well, just marriage. My now ex husband and I both gave a lot to the marriage. We were loving and generous to each other, but we both just could not get over the feeling of we could have thrived just the same as singles. And few years post divorce later, he and I were right. We are just doing fine without each other. My parents, my brother, other family members and friends who were married to honor our elders, they're still married. Their relationships evolved into one of siblings or best friend like. My mother, in mid 60s now, she traveled a lot, sometimes with my father, sometimes with her friends. I could have gotten married again. There are suitors, mostly widowers, but I'm having the case of been there, done that, marrying love of my life and all that. And it ended without abuse, without cheating, without any bad things happening. It just ends because none of us could pretend that we still wanted or needed it. It ended just because I feel that I either should not have gotten married at all or married out of obligation to my elders.